Vikings fans, Paul Allen, your announcer, with Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer to not only discuss some Vikings football, but take a look at this 2020 schedule, which is released today. And we welcome the head coach into the conversation from Zimmer Ridge Ranch in northern Kentucky. A lot to cover in a short amount of time, Mike. But would you prefer to exchange Christmas gifts on Bourbon Street on Christmas Eve, or like day of the game in the morning?
Well, it's a 3:00 game, so we're probably going to have to do it the night before.
Yep, and that's part of a schedule that, as usual, is super competitive, and of course begins in the preseason. Where if you look at preseason games 2 and 3, let's begin number 2 at Cincinnati, Zimmer Ridge Ranch, skeets, steaks, now golf. Sounds like a plan, right?
Yeah, we might have to do a little bit of that.
And preseason week number 3, your final road game in the preseason at Cleveland, which means not only Baker Mayfield and Myles Garrett, but it also means your former offensive coordinator, Kevin Stefanski. How well do you think Kevin will do in Cleveland?
He should do fine. They've got good players there, and it's a good organization. So, he'll have to put his stamp on it, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but he'll get it done eventually.
Now you get to the regular season and home opener. It is against the Green Bay Packers. That's week number 1, U.S. Bank Stadium. When, I know that you have more time to get ready for first week of the regular season than other games. Like, when officially do you start putting stuff together for that game?
Usually about 10 days before. Not. What you don't want to do is get so far out in advance that it gets boring for the players. So you want to get and put a little bit in, and then, but you're still going to be working on technique and getting better at the things that you do, especially with the young football team that we'll have.
And especially with the way this offseason has gone. Off topic for a second, how are the virtual meetings and everything going?
Yeah, really well. The offense meets first in the different position groups, and then I get chance to go in and sit in those, and then we have a special teams meeting or a team meeting, and then the defensive meeting. So it's been great for me. I can get into really all the different rooms for a little bit, listen to all the different coaches, listen to players, and so it's been fun. And then we're able to have staff meetings and things like that as well.
Coach, I think the biggest shocker of the entire schedule, week number 5, you actually have a primetime night game at Seattle. That is it's so infrequent these days that it's really going to be good to be out there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we're getting used to it, but at least it's a Sunday night, not a Monday night this year. So that's a good thing. We've got 5 playoff teams in the first 7 games. 5 of them won games in the postseason last year. So it'll be a tough start.
Yeah, the AFC South before that game at Seattle, Sunday Night Football, weeks 8 through 10 out of the bye. First of all, do you like the bye where it falls, week number 7?
Yeah, it's just about right in the middle, so it's not too bad. It might be a little bit early, but we might have to look at the bye a little bit different this year. Depending on if we need to get more work done, instead of in the past where it's been later on, we could give players a little more time off. So just depending on when we go to camp and when we finally get going practicing, we'll have to decide that when the schedule comes out.
Several key facets of a 16-game schedule, but maybe one of the biggest, weeks 8 through 10 out of the bye. Mike's team is at Green Bay, then has Detroit at U.S. Bank Stadium, then at Chicago for Monday Night Football. 3 consecutive division games, obviously very important.
Yeah, it'll be really good atmosphere, really in all those games. It'll be fun to get some of the division games. It's a chance to really get focused after the bye week for understanding the importance of the 3 division games.
Weeks 11 through 13, Mike, 3 consecutive at home. That doesn't happen frequently. When you get it, it's absolutely fantastic. Dallas, Carolina, and Jacksonville. Week number 12, Teddy, back at U.S. Bank Stadium.
Yeah, that would be great, seeing Teddy again. Hopefully he doesn't play well that day, but, he's a great kid, and we wish him all the best except for that one game. But, yeah, it's nice to have 3 home games in a row. Getting Dallas at home, that's a good thing. And then finishing up with Jacksonville.
With this part of the schedule too, Mike, with Dallas and Carolina, you have McCarthy, the former Packers coach in Dallas now, and Matt Rule from Baylor to Carolina. So, you being, having been in the NFL multiple decades, won a Super Bowl with Dallas, but as a head coach starting in 2014, is there an acclimation process for first-time head coaches with a new team? Does it take a certain amount of time for it really to click?
Well, yeah, definitely. It's a different job. Everybody thinks that they know how to do it. Everybody thinks they can do it, and then you get in there and there's a lot of things that happen. Since I've been in Minnesota, there's a lot of things that have happened that you didn't count on, including Teddy or Adrian or a lot of different things that have happened. You just got to prepare for it the best you can, get to know the players, and hope you got good coaches to help you.
Week number 14, middle of December at Tampa Bay, which most likely means at Tom Brady. Would you rather catch Tampa late or early? And the only reason I mention not early is because of humidity and it's super hot and stuff like that. But now you get Arians' team late in the season, with Brady at this stage of the season.
Yeah, well, it was really, really hot down there early in the season. So this is probably a good thing. Catch them there. They've got great wide receivers. Obviously, the quarterback is a Hall of Fame guy, and we'll have to go down there and play well to win.
Final two games of the season at New Orleans, at Detroit, and specifically in the penultimate Christmas Day at New Orleans. Now, the Vikings that don't have a Thursday night football game this season, but you get one on Friday. It's Christmas Day, and it's against Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints. Then at Ford Field to finish it. How do you think those final two shake out?
Yeah, it'll be fun going to New Orleans again. It seems like we've been down there quite a bit. We played them in the preseason, I think, last year, and then obviously in the playoffs. Christmas will be a little bit different, obviously, but the surprising thing is, we've had one short Thursday game at home going on my 7 years now. We've only been able to have one, so I guess they're giving us an extra day, playing it on Friday, but it happens to be on Christmas, and it's on the road. So
wait, that Thursday game you had at home, you weren't even there.
Oh, that wasn't on a short week, Paul. That was the Dallas
Oh,
Cowboys, and we played the Thursday before.
right. Oh, I got you on that.
Short
Off
week,
schedule
short week.
right. Short attention span too here when this the whole thing. Outside of the schedule for a second, when you do get these guys back, I would imagine conditioning and strength and everything, that probably will be the A topic right out of the gate. What do you guys do to stay in touch with all of them to make sure conditioning wise they're doing everything right?
Well, we've talked to most of the players if they're working out, and they've got a place to lift. They're able to get some kind of conditioning in. We'll probably when we do get them back, we'll probably do a little extra conditioning every day after practice because it's going to be important, especially early in the year. I think that's what some of the older teams had to do when these teams came back. They worked them, and so we're going to have to do that too. We're going to have to get them in shape and ready to play 60 minutes of all-out football.
From Green Bay to start it at US Bank Stadium through the Lions at Ford Field to finish it, would you care to venture a guess on the final record?
Yeah, I knew that was coming. We're gonna,
Got a guess?
right now, the only thing that we're looking at is Green Bay #1, and then
Yeah.
we'll worry about the second game and the third game and go from there.
You look great, Mike. Good to see you.
Thanks, Paul. Have a nice day.